Welcome back to Inside College Basketball Now with Jon Rothstein. Pleased to be joined by North Carolina head coach Hubert Davis. Hubert, welcome. Is it hard to believe that you're starting year 5?
It's going by quick. It is. It's starting year 5, but I'm really excited about it. And obviously, I've enjoyed and loved my time as head coach over the last 5 years.
What is the biggest thing you know now about being North Carolina's head coach that maybe you didn't know when you were an assistant before you got the job?
That every year won't be the same. It's going to change. I mean, in the 5 years that I've been head coach, it's obviously been the birth of NIL, the transfer portal, the extra COVID year, the involvement of agents on the backside of a pandemic, and so. I have learned that this year will not be the same as next year.
No doubt about that. And I'm curious, when you think about that, just how different is being North Carolina's head coach right now in the fall of 2025 versus when you got the job in March of 2021?
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously, I just mentioned, there's a number of different things, just the involvement of agents. So developing relationships with them, having a number of conversations in regards to recruits, whether it's high school or the transfer portal, the NIL piece, fundraising, just different things that didn't exist when I took the job. But things always change, and you always have to be willing to tweak and pivot, alter, and change, and that's what you have to do. But even in the midst of that, Jon, you still you can't lose the foundation of what you believe in, and the foundation of Carolina, irregardless of what changes are in college basketball, will always stay the same.
Well, Carolina's a blue blood program, obviously one of the flagship programs in the sport. But I'm curious, from your perspective, in this climate, can you still build a program, or are you just building a team year to year?
No, I do. I think you definitely can still build a program. I do believe that there are going to be times where the roster turnover will be different than it was in the past. I mean, for example, this year we have 11 new players.
Yeah.
And so even in the midst of having 11 new players, Carolina basketball will play like Carolina basketball. We'll get after it defensively. We've got tremendous pace. We'll crash the offensive glass. We'll share the basketball, and we'll play basketball together as a team.
One of the things you did with your staff in the offseason, especially in this new climate, which is vital, is hire a general manager in Jim Tanner. How much did delegating some of that responsibility help you obviously alleviate some of what was on your plate?
Well, it is. I mean, 7 months ago, hired Jim Tanner. For the longest of time was a prominent agent for 27 years. And, one of the major reasons that I wanted to bring him a part of our staff was, he went to Carolina as well. And so he believes in this place, and he has a passion for this place to be successful. But also, with his experience in regards to having communication and relationships with agents, understanding and writing contracts, those are things that definitely are taken off my desk and give me more of an opportunity to do what I've been called to do, and that's coach basketball.
Speaking of basketball, you played an exhibition game on Friday night against BYU. Your biggest takeaways after seeing this team against, another formidable team for the first time?
Yeah, I was, it's hard for me to say. I was encouraged after a loss.
Right.
I'm as competitive as anybody, Jon. I don't want to lose anything, shoot around, pick up, knock out, whatever it is. But I did walk away encouraged by, a number of things, but one of them was how we reacted and how we responded. I thought, first time together, playing a different opponent, as I mentioned before, 11 new players, playing on the road, playing against a really good BYU team. And for us to react and respond, to play the way that we did, I was really proud of. I thought we played hard. We were competitive, and I thought we saw some good things that we can continue to get better at, but also some things that we need to fix that are actually fixable. And so that's what you want to get out of those exhibition games, those scrimmages. And we felt good about what we learned about our team and how we need to grow.
Hubert, last year, North Carolina was obviously a guard-driven team,
Yeah.
and wasn't that big up front in terms of the
Yeah.
overall size. And watching you guys Friday, it wasn't just the height of your players, but the positional size 1 through 5 is vastly different, and it's vastly bigger and longer than last season. How much was that the priority when you wanted to put this roster together?
Yeah, huge priority. It really was. And you mentioned it last year. We were guard heavy, and we had a lot of small guards. And obviously, we wanted to get bigger, but I wanted to get positionally bigger. And when you mentioned that, Jaren Stevenson was quote unquote playing our 3, and he's 6'9", 6'10". Our guards, Jonathan Powell, he's 6'6". Derek Dixon is 6'5", and so the positional size was something that was intentional this summer in getting our team bigger. And it has allowed us to be more versatile, not just on the offensive end, but defensively. And hopefully it'll make us an even better rebounding team.
Well, you can't mention rebounds in North Carolina without bringing up Caleb Wilson, because watching the game Friday night, it kind of brought you back in time to some of those guys, that were really at the part of that back-to-back Final Four run in 16 and 17 when you were an assistant, like Isaiah Hicks and Bryce Johnson. And why do you think somebody in this climate like Caleb Wilson is so ready not just to impact the game, but potentially dominate the game as a freshman?
Yeah, I mean, he's been gifted. He's got tremendous length and size, athleticism. He can do a number of things out there on the floor. Obviously, you saw in the game the way that he transitions from defense to offense. He runs the floor. He can handle the basketball. He's an excellent passer. Mid-range shot is real. He can shoot from 3. He can finish around the basket. And the thing that I was really happy with was his activity on the offensive glass. He got 4 offensive rebounds. Obviously, he had a double-double in points and rebounds, and he was really active out there. But, John, I think the best thing about him, and this says a lot, is that as talented as he is, like, he loves being here. Like, he is so invested into North Carolina success in the team. And he's just a wonderful teammate and a great person to be around.
No, and he's going to be an awesome person to cover this season, as you can see with his sample that he gave on Friday night. Now, the backbone of any great team at North Carolina has been obviously tremendous play at point guard, going to Ray Felton and obviously Ty Lawson, Marcus Page, Joel Berry, RJ Davis. It goes down the line.
I'll take them back.
No doubt. No doubt. And obviously this year you're bringing in a player in Kiyan Evans, who was a part of a surge last year at Colorado State late in the year. Your assessment on him in that position after seeing your point guards play BYU on Friday?
Yeah, Kiyan got into foul trouble in the first half, and so he didn't get much playing time in the first half. But, he's somebody that's really shifty, can handle the basketball. Only in 20 minutes he led our team in assists. So, like, he's a guy that instinctively likes to pitch the ball ahead and find open teammates. But also he's an elite shooter from 3 as well. And so he gives us that ability to be able to shoot from the point guard position. And then, you look at Derek Dixon, I mentioned his positional size, his ability to shoot, pass. He's a bigger guard, so defensively, he can hold his ground and keep guards out of the lane. And so I'm really happy with him. One of the things that I've always done, John, is, I'm more of a positionless coach. We have a number of playmakers on the team. It's not just those 2. Seth Trimble is fantastic making decisions, and even Caleb Wilson, the way that he passes the basketball, and Henry Fassard as well. And so it'll come from different parts. It may not come from an RJ Davis or Raymond Felton, but it'll come from a number of different people, and it'll make our team the best that it can be.
Now, one player who did not play against BYU is Luka Bogovats, who obviously you have high hopes for as well. I know that he was cleared by the NCAA, but there was still a university issue that was being worked out. What is his status moving forward as we approach the opener?
Yeah, as of right now, the university is working through the process, and one of the things that I do, I'm so thankful to be working at this university. They've done a terrific job of trying to work through the process, and we're working it out. But he's practicing. I love coaching Luka. He's a guy that skill-wise can just do a number of different things on both ends of the floor. His ability to score off the bounce and off-ball actions is real and elite. And you talked about the positional size. He has that as well. He's 6'6", and so there's another skilled wing player with good size that allows us to be even better out there on the floor.
Hubert, you look at your 4-year tenure. The first year, you were inches away from winning a national title.
Yeah.
Your third year, number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, obviously lost a heartbreaker in the Sweet 16 to a great Alabama team. But 2 out of the 4 years, you were in position to play for a national championship. Yeah. What does this team have to do to be in a similar position when we get to March of 2026?
Yeah, I think, characteristics of those 2 years where we had a championship caliber team, one, we're a really good rebounding team. And so for us this year, like we have to rebound the basketball on both ends of the floor. We've got to be elite offensively. I've set a goal for our team to, 40% offensive rebounding percentage, defensive rebounding. We were always at the top of the ACC with the exception of last year. So we have to get back to that. We've got to be a great defensive team. You mentioned when we were the number 1 seed a couple of years ago, we were top 5 nationally in regards to defense. And so I've been clear and definitive with our team what allows us to be successful: defend, rebound, take care of the basketball. Against BYU, we had 19 turnovers, so that's not going in the right direction. We've got to get better at that and making the easy play. But I think, one of the things that, John, I don't look at the full picture. I think you have to focus on the process, the preparation, and the practice. And if we do that at the end of the day, I think we'll be happy with the results. But I like what we have.
Well, Hubert, appreciate a couple of minutes. Know how busy you are, especially, as we're getting ready to tip off the season. Yeah. All the best starting things off in 25-26. And as always, look forward to staying connected with you along the way.
Thanks, John. I appreciate you having me on. I look forward to see you throughout the year, okay?
You got it. That's North Carolina head coach Hubert Davis. I'm Jon Rothstein, and this is Inside College Basketball Now.